work. Sometimes it does work. This is my friend Robin Waters. Robin worked at Target before it was called that, when it was Target. And Target was Kmart, but dustier. And it wasn't doing great. And she came up with the concept, working with a team, of let's get Michael Graves to make a teapot. Let's figure out how to bring in high design and low prices. The CEO didn't come up with that, she did. And she was almost as low as you could go without being a cash register clerk. But she built a tribe, and she worked it through the organization until it became the organization. Jim Morrison got arrested. He got booed off stage. He wasn't immediately a hero. Now people visit his grave because he stood out and stood for something. So this part is tricky nomenclature, so I put some words in these slides. There's a difference between faith and religion. Faith is human nature. Faith is believing in the future, believing in connection, believing in things can get better. Faith is what gets everyone moving. Religion are rules that get invented to support faith. And I mean with a small f and a small r. You can have faith in the pleasure of ice cream. That's fine with me. Religion are the rules created by human beings to enforce the status quo, to enforce the power structure. And what heretics do is they have so much faith, they have no choice but to challenge the religion. The religion of what it means to work at McDonald's. The Big Mac was invented by a franchisee outside of Pittsburgh. Someone who was so passionate about what he did all day and his franchise and the future of fast food that he broke every rule in McDonald's religious handbook to make the Big Mac. Right? He was a heretic too. And what's so hard is that lots and lots of people have faith, but then plopped on top of that are all these various religions, these rules, these structures. Why were they built? They were built to let someone who probably isn't in the room with you control the situation. And the challenge that organizations have is that when your dogma steps on my karma, we don't get anywhere. And that organizations that want to grow have to figure out where the line is. Where are the things that are about what we believe, and how we treat customers, what we believe in the side effects our organization creates, what we believe in the purpose of our products, versus the rules that we invented to amplify that. This is not about control. If you try to control the system, you will not find a tribe show up. That McDonald's, as I said, is controlling it. This young person probably has a lot of faith. But because they're Amish, there's also a lot of religion and rules that get in the way of that. And the same thing is true at the disco. The way you dress, what time you show up, who you talk to, how you dance. There's religion. There's rules that get in the way. So let me go back to the record business and pick on it a little bit because I think it makes it distinct. A revolution hit the record business. And the revolution was that black vinyl thing that degraded over time, couldn't be copied, was a souvenir, nice big picture, worth paying for. That was the engine that built the music industry. But the faith that built the music industry was people love music. Great musicians will keep coming. With help, great musicians can get even better. Music likes to spread, and when it spreads, that's a good thing. All of a sudden, the world goes digital. And the music industry doesn't go, great, new opportunities to pursue our faith. The music industry says, who can we sue? Because they're breaking our religion. And as a result, they completely annihilated themselves. Not music, but the music industry. The people who wear the suits. Blew it. Billions of dollars down the drain. The biggest opportunity in their career lost. The internet is radio cubed. Could have been a bonanza if they had stuck to what they believed in, as opposed to trying to stick to rules that weren't working anymore. The Joan of Arc taught people that if you stand up, you can make things actually better. Most people work in a balloon factory. Now the thing about balloon factories is they're quiet and they're safe and they're comfortable. There isn't really a busy season for balloons because it's for birthdays year-round. And they like it. And every once in a while, a unicorn shows up. Unicorns are not particularly popular in balloon factories. And so standing up in front of you, begging you to become the unicorn in whatever factory you work in, is very frightening. That's why my book isn't called The Unicorn in the Balloon Factory, because Lisa made me change it. But how you talk talk to people about where you're going matters. If I had stood up and called the book Unicorn in the Balloon Factory, a whole bunch of people would say, I can't go there. That's too scary. But if, on the other hand, you build a tribe of people, a tiny tribe of people in your organization, who believe in the faith of where you're going, then over time, all of them are going to become unicorns. All of them are going to want to see the rules go away. That we know there are lots of rules. Some of the rules have good reason, right? I don't know if you can read that. It says, warning, electric fence, and little girls grabbing the wire. But most of the rules are a little outdated. And then what we're going to have to do if we want to lead is understand that the rules aren't the point, the faith is the point. And that the people who get in trouble in organizations are the ones who break the rules for the wrong reason. But in organizations, when you break the rules for the right reason, to serve a customer, to accomplish the organization's mission, to grow in the right way, nothing bad ever happens. The rules are there for the other people. So one of the ways we approach this is by getting rid of little no's. Little no's don't help us. What we're seeking is the big yes. Not go to your boss and say, I went to see Seth and I got this great idea, can I do it? Because if you say that to her, of course she'll say no. You know why? Because if it fails, you blame her, and if it succeeds, you'll take all the credit. Why on earth would she say yes to that? What you do is you find the moment when you have the following, when you've built the proof, when the thing is moving. That's when you're going to get a big yes. Red Maxwell, a dear friend of mine, has a daughter, Cassie, who has juvenile diabetes. Red is impatient. Red is not willing to wait for a bureaucracy to figure out how to get its act together to help Cassie get better. So Red's a heretic. Red is trying in every direction he can, with as much energy as he can, to build a tribe of people who are actually changing things. Jackson Pollock got thrown out of at least one art class, I can guarantee you, because this does not look like a final exam for 1941. But the fact is, by reinventing art, he showed a whole bunch of other people how to think about what they do. A guy named Rob Bell wrote a controversial book that evangelical Christians are spending time reading that talks about this exact point, which is that it's possible to lead without doing it the way everyone else does it. A dear friend of mine, Megan McDonald, who's here today, is a coach. She teaches people how to do something really scary, and in my estimation, sort of dumb, which is climb rocks and maybe fall. But most of the time, not fall. And the way she coaches is not by acting like Vince Lombardi. Not by saying, everyone go do this, everyone go do this, yelling, 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 humiliating the way we've seen so many sports coaches do it. What she does is she assembles groups of people, and she talks to them in a whisper sometimes. And then she leads them to where they need to go and walks away. And the group leads itself from that point. They coach each other. 12-year-olds helping 14-year-olds figure out their way through a rock problem. That what we see is that being a community organizer, organizing people to make a difference, is the way you make change happen. That what we see is that it's not about top-down yelling. It's about making the choice to lead. And where we're coming full circle here is that the definition of marketing, if I'm right, is now no longer clever copywriting or interesting media buying or even how do I cut 5 cents out of the cost of that product. That the future of marketing is deciding to be a leader. So, 7 elements that I think leaders have when they're working with a tribe. First, they challenge people. They push people outside their comfort zone because you don't need to join a tribe to be safe. Second, they create a culture